Okay, one of the things that I want you to do for your homework tonight is I want you to get some practice with equivalent fractions. So what's going to happen is we're going to, and also, sorry, I'm trying a brand new app because Show Me went big time on me and they want me to pay to make the videos, and well, I'm just not going to do that. So I'm using a new app. Anyways, today I'm going to go over some equivalent fractions and we're going to practice simplification. And all we're going to do is we're going to do some problems together for practice. So that's all the homework is. There's nothing new. This is off of a video you've already watched. So let's start. The first problem we're going to do is 1/2 is equal to 3 what's. So if we have something split into 1/2 and you have one of them, that's the equivalent of having 3 that is split into how many. So here's how we're going to solve it. What do we do to get from 1 to 3? We're going to take it times 3. So if we do that to the top, we have to do it to the bottom. So what we're going to end up getting is 3/6. So our answer is 3/6. So what that would look like is this. You see, it's still the same area, it's just split into different sizes. So there's the first problem. I want to go over a couple more. Write this problem down, pause, and solve. Okay, so on the bottom we have 5/6, and we're splitting it into 12ths. So what do I have to do to the whole thing to split it into 12ths? I would have to split all those 6 in half, and that would double them. So if I do that to the bottom, I have to do it to the top. So my missing number would be 10/12. I'm going to write down a couple for you to do. Okay, here are the 4 problems. 1/3 is equal to how many 18ths? 2/9 is equal to 4 what's? 3/6 is equal to how many halves? And 4/7 is equal to how many 28ths? Pause and solve them all. Okay, we'll start with number 1. So, how do you get from 3 to 18? You would take it times 6. If we do it to the bottom, you have to do it to the top. So it would be 6/18 is your answer. On this one, we have 2/9 is equal to 4 how many? Well, we don't have the bottom, so we can't go there, but we can go, how do we go from 2 to 4? We multiply by 2. If we do it to the top, we have to do it to the bottom. So our answer would be 4/18. Bottom, 3/6. Oops. 3/6, how do we get from 6 to 2? This one is actually going the opposite way. How do we get from 6 to 2? Now, when we're dealing with fractions, we only either multiply or divide. This time we're going to divide by 3. And we can do that to the top too. So it's going to be 1/2. Bottom here, from 7 to 28, you have to take it times 4. So we take the top times 4. So our answer is 16/28. Now we're just going to try a couple simplification problems. Remember, when you're doing simplification, if you have, for example, 4/8, you look and see what is the biggest number, what is the greatest common factor that can go into 4 and 8. So we would just divide by 4 since it goes into both of them. Simplified fraction would be 1/2. You can always tell if it's simplified by a couple different things. You can tell because you can't divide the top and the bottom by the same thing. Because remember, we always have to do the same to the top and the bottom. So if you can't divide both of them by something, then it's simplified. If they're right next to each other, here's a little hint. If the number on top, numerator and denominator, are like 1 and 2 or 2 and 3, 3 and 4, if they're only 1 away, then it's simplified. And so there's a couple of different things you can do. So let's take a look and practice some. I'm going to write down 4 practice problems. Okay, there are your problems. Pause and solve. Alright, let's start in the upper left. One thing you can always do is you can look, does the top go into the bottom? Because if it does, then you already know what you're going to have to do. 12 goes into 24, so we're going to divide them both by 12. And our answer is going to be 1/2. On number 2, what's the biggest number that can go into 3 and 9? That would be 3, so we're going to divide them both by 3. And it's going to be 1/3. Next one, 18/20. The biggest number that goes into both of them is 2. So we're going to divide them both by 2. You're going to get 9/10. Last one, what's the biggest number that goes into 40 and 50? Well, it'd be 10. And look, all you have to do is divide by 10, which is the same as crossing those out. You get 4/5. That's the same as doing divided by 10, divided by 10. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 more. I want you to tell me prime or, I want you to tell me simplified or not simplified. And if it is not simplified, I want you to simplify it. There are your 3 problems. Pause and solve. Okay. So 7/20. Is there any number you can divide by both 7, or that can go into both 7 and 20? Can 2? No, 2 can't go into 7. 3 can't go into 7. 4 can't go into 7. 7's prime, and it doesn't go into 21, so that means this is simplified. So that one is simplified. How about 3/60? Does 2 go into 3? No. Does 3 go into 3? Yes. Does 3 go into 60? It does. So that means it's not simplified. Oops, that's supposed to be 3. Divide by 3, so we're going to get 1/20. Last one, 19/20. They're right next to each other. 19 and 20 are right next to each other. So I know it has to be simplified. So 19/20 is simplified. And that's all there is for that practice. I just wanted you to get some more work with those 2 skills. See ya.